Welcome to episode 157 of the show with no name. I'm your humble host, Nick, and today we're going to be exploring this little old pioneer cemetery out here in the middle of nowhere in Washington State. This cemetery goes by the name of the Stratford Cemetery. Let's get into this. It was one of the more unique and interesting pioneer cemeteries that I've been out here in the farmlands of Washington State. For many reasons, one of them being that it's just rocks and dirt out here, and I'm used to seeing grass. And another thing that really caught my eye about this cemetery that was just off the side of the road is that it's surrounded by farm crops, as you can see. There's no fence, no sign, or nothing like that. This cemetery is just here. Clarence Schwab was born on October 29, 1926 in Ritzville, Washington. At the age of 3, his family moved to Wilson Creek, where he would grow up. At the age of 19, he would marry a woman named Aileen, and they would have 5 children together. Their names were Linda, Leslie, Lily, Carlton, and Rachel. Clarence was a lifelong farmer who got his start at the tender age of 8 on his father's wheat ranch near Wilson Creek. His parents were German immigrants who knew the value of hard work. He received his driver's license at the age of 10. Over the years, Clarence farmed wheat, grains, hay, and ran cattle on his various ranches. He lost his hand in a farming accident in 1968, but it never set him back. He never ever complained that he couldn't do something he set his mind to. He used to say that he didn't belong to any clubs, he belonged to his family, and his greatest joy and hobby was his children. He would pass away on October 28, 2007. James Gill, who went by the nickname Arch, was born sometime in 1889, and he would pass away at the age of 91 in 1980. He is buried here with his twin sister, and I believe his family migrated here from Virginia. I found an article about him that was written a while ago in the newspaper, and it reads, "Why do they call it the Bacon Siphon and Tunnel?" You can ask a lot of irrigation officials before you find one who knows. But that's just what is meant. Bacon, crisp and sizzling, frying in a pan. Authority for this statement comes from pioneer postmaster James Archie Gill, now of Soap Lake. He was postmaster at Bacon from February 25, 1915, until the office was closed on June 15, 1916, and mail routed to Adrian. Bacon was on the Northern Pacific Rail line between Coulee City to Adrian. The rusted tracks are still there on the old rail bed 9 miles south of Coulee City, in Dry Coulee. The first postmaster there was storekeeper James A. Ross. In December 1911, when the post office was established, demand for supplies at the Ross store was apparently so heavy that stock was exhausted, except for bacon. Bacon, apparently, seemed to be an appropriate name for what some folks thought would soon become a town. Gill, who grins that he is 39 years old, came here when he was 16. He can show you where his father homesteaded with 2 locust trees still growing after 63 years. He was born in Virginia in 1889. His first job was operating a drag barrow, walking sometimes 20 miles a day behind a team of horses. You kept out of the way of many rattlesnakes that were always in the coulee. Fun included hunting parties after the groundhogs that were everywhere. He worked on railroad crews as well. Pay from the railroad was always in gold and silver, never bills. You hardly ever saw a bill in those days, and if you did, it was a yellowback. One job he had was that of a tax assessor. I got $5 a day and I worked all up and down the coulee on horseback. Ethel May Simmons was born on April 28, 1888, and she would pass away on May 15, 1910, out here in Grant County, Washington. She was married to Thomas Simmons. Thomas Simmons would later get remarried to a woman named Laura. Laura Simmons was born on August 24, 1888, in Minnesota, and she would pass away here in Grant County on June 29, 1916. She was just 27 years old. She had a child named Frances the same year she passed away, which makes me believe that she passed away due to complications of childbirth, which was typical out here in the pioneer days. Thomas Simmons would be buried out here in the cemetery with both of his wives many years later when he passed away in 1958. I hope you enjoy the rest of my videos of Stratford Cemetery, out here in the middle of nowhere in Washington State. Thank you.